Hey everyone, Dr. Crayhay here. This week we're taking a break to review what we've done so far. Here I have an example data set pulled up. This is from Professor Andy Field. He has an SPSS statistics textbook that I'll pull from every now and then. But in this video we're looking at the game Angry Pigs. So many of you might remember this. It's was a popular cell phone game there for a while. There are different versions of this Angry Pigs game. There's the base, there's Star Wars, there are all sorts of variations on that. And this data set is looking at this game and aggression. So our first variable, so again we're in data view here so we can see all of our numbers. Our first variable is game. So did they play the game? Or type of game, sorry, it tells us right here, type of game. The values, 0 represents that they played Tetris and 1 represents that they played Angry Birds. Then we have baseline aggression, aggression after 1 month, 6 months, and 12 months later. The first thing that we should probably do with this data is take a look at it, right? So we want to know what this data looks like. So first, I want to know how many people did we have that played Tetris versus how many people played Angry Birds. So this is discrete data. So we'll actually run what's called a bar graph, or a bar, sometimes it's called a bar chart. APA style, we'll call it a figure, right? So I'm going to go to graphs, legacy dialogues. I want a bar, so I'm going to select that. Simple is good, hit define. Wait for SPSS to load. It is very slow sometimes. And we're going to look at the type of game, move that over to the category axis. Click OK. And it comes up with a simple bar graph showing that it looks like we might have 42 people in our Tetris condition and 42 people playing Angry Birds. This is a bar graph, a bar chart that's showing discrete, so you're in one category or you're in the other. So we can see we have equal groups, which is a good thing. Now, what if I want to look for outliers, right? So I want to look at the variability of my data set. So let's look at baseline aggression. There are different ways to do that. So first we can go to graphs, legacy dialogues, and we can go down to the bottom here and get a histogram. Let's look at baseline aggression, move that over to variable, and then we can hit OK. Here we have a histogram, so it's a histogram because they're touching, right? Still frequency, they're on the side. And you can see our baseline aggression looks like our mean is probably, well, it's a 2.3. We've got a standard deviation of 1.23. We've got some nice variability going on here. So that is a histogram. A bar chart will be for discrete data. You can go to graphs, legacy dialogues, bar to get a bar chart. If you're looking at continuous data like this aggression data, you go to graphs, legacy dialogues, and then down to histogram. The other thing that we really want to see in these data, we want to see box and whisker. To get that, you have to go a slightly different route. Analyze, descriptive statistics, and then explore. Let's stick with this baseline aggression here. We're going to move that over to dependent list. Under statistics, let's go ahead and make sure our descriptives are checked. We'll get our mean, median, mode, hopefully, standard deviation, those kinds of things. We can get a histogram through here as well. So under that option right there, it's going to give us a stem and leaf as well. You can hit continue, click OK to run that. Now, you could scroll down. Here's that same histogram we got a second ago, so there are multiple ways to do this. Scroll down a bit more. There's our stem and leaf. A little bit more here is our box and whisker. So again, if we had an outlier, there would be a number, a little asterisk down here with a number, the number representing the row number of the participant that is an outlier. So you can go investigate them further. Scrolling back up to this data, we get all of our central tendency information. We've got our mean 2.3. If you go down, our median is 2.0. We did not get our mode, so I'll show you how to do that in a second. We did, however, get our variance and we got our standard deviation. So you can get a lot of that material with just a couple of button clicks. We've also gotten our range, and then of course skew and kurtosis. Now you can look at the histogram to assess for skew and kurtosis. So if you kind of drew, try to draw a normal distribution over this, would one end point one direction or the other? This is not a skewed distribution. That's supported by these statistics. The skewness statistic 0.044, kurtosis negative 0.612. Remember, if you're within a range of -2 to +2, you probably don't have any normality issues and you're good to move forward. So both visual and statistical checks there show you that. Again, I got all of this through the explore function. Analyze descriptive statistics, explore. I got all of that in one fell swoop. If we go to analyze descriptive statistics and then frequencies, we can get our frequency tables that we were talking about a few weeks ago. So we can see how many people are in each type of game. If I wanted to see what the most common baseline aggression is, maybe there's a value for that. If I go to statistics, I can check. I just want to see if there's a mode here. We could also get skew and kurtosis here as well. So many, many different ways to do this. Click OK and see if we have a mode here. Let's see. So our mode for type of game, baseline Tetris, no. It's a 0, so it says multiple modes exist. The smallest value is shown. So we had two groups there. Participants either played Tetris or Angry Birds. They were both equal, so they were both our mode. So technically it's a bimodal distribution, but there were only two options, so we claim there is no mode there. Our mode for baseline aggression was 2, so that was the most frequent aggression score. And then, of course, it tells us we have 42 people that played Tetris, 42 in Angry Birds, and then it breaks down baseline aggression for us.